Hey everybody, what's up? Merry Christmas and welcome to Jamsville. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to turn this into this. So before we go over the reharm, let's just go over the original changes because you really need to be familiar with the original changes to any tune before you decide to reharmonize it, right? So the whole thing's in the key of F and we start off with the C major chord, which is the 5 chord. And then we just go right to a 1 chord. And then back to C7. And then back to F. And then for the last 2 bars, we just have a G minor, C7 to F progression, which is a 2-5-1. So before we get into all the nitty-gritty of the reharm, I just want to tell you what I was overall thinking. And overall, I was just trying to find a chord that each of those melody notes fits in, and try to voice lead mostly stepwise throughout the reharm. So the reharm begins with this G sus4 chord. Again, because this is actually a really nice chord that a C melody note fits in. In this case, that C is the sus4. And we also have the root on the bottom, then the 7th, and the 9th, and then the sus4. And then, guess what? Since the melody note moves up a 4th from C to F, well, guess what? I just moved the whole chord up a 4th with a little bit of a different voicing, so now we have a C sus. And then we move up to a D flat major 7. So what I really like about this is we get some good voice leading here because we have these 2 notes on the bottom that both move up a half step. And then the upward stepwise motion continues to this D7 sus. And then again, this is just following along. The melody is moving up stepwise, so I made it so that the chords are also moving up stepwise, but not exactly in parallel with the melody all the time. So then we move up again, this time perfectly parallel with the melody, up a whole step. So far we have this. And now since we're sitting with this A natural in the melody, I figured this is a good opportunity to change the harmony underneath rather than singing the same chord. Sort of like how we were sitting on this F melody here, I moved the chord up while we were staying on the same melody note. Now I'm going to do the same thing, but moving down. So far we have this. And then, continue with the stepwise, we're going to go back up even though the melody note is going to move down. So then we just follow the melody. Now we get to the next chord. This chord is an E flat 9 chord and it has the 5th on top. Now, the really cool thing about this E flat 9 chord is that this E flat 9 chord could very easily take us to a D minor chord because E flat 7 is a substitute for A7, which is the 5 chord of D minor. It's something called a tritone substitution because that chord is a tritone away from the A7. So instead of resolving to the D minor, however, we can use that as a great pivot chord to move to the key of A flat, since E flat 7 is the 5 chord in the key of A flat. And that's exactly what happens. So right in between the E flat 7 chord and the A flat chord that we're going to get to, we have this C sharp diminished chord, or D flat diminished. So starting from the E minor 7 flat 5, we have this. And then we finally get to our A flat major 7 chord. And then since the melody moves down a whole step, well, we just move the whole entire chord down a whole step to G flat major 7, and again we stick with the major 7 interval being in the melody. So really slowly, let's go through that whole thing. Also, if you're confused at all with your knowledge of the guitar fretboard and you feel like it's just not there and you don't know the notes and you're just confused navigating, well, get yourself a great Christmas present this year and check out the Jamsville GPS Fretboard Fundamentals course over at jamsville.com. This course is exactly what you need to take you from being frustrated and not knowing what the notes are and not be able to navigate up and down the fretboard to being able to master the fretboard. And if you just want free lessons, make sure you subscribe to the channel so I can help you for free every single week. Again, it's a no-brainer. All right, everybody, until next time, listen, learn, and jam.